Hello, internet people! How y'all doing today? So, we are starting up part 4 of my journey. Alright, sorry about that pause. The cat decided to try to knock something over and be a little not nice kid. Alright, so I'm gonna start picking it back up at the quest of Wild Rose by any other name. Starts with Menphilia. We Scions have but one objective: to safeguard the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as primals. Long have we striven to find a lasting solution to the threats they pose. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea, but I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Pray, consider this when you give me your answer, Teal.
I take it you will help us. Wonderful! I knew you wouldn't let us down. But come, I would introduce you to your friends in the Order. Tell me, does the name Sharlayan ring any bells? It used to be one of Eorzea's 6 city-states, and was situated in the northwest of Aldenard. The Sharlayans were the keepers of wisdom both old and new. Their mastery over magic and ether was unsurpassed, and even the Garleans knew to fear them. Among their number, there were a noble few who devoted their lives to safeguarding the future of Eorzea. When the realm began its descent into chaos, and their countrymen fled for the motherland, they alone chose to remain here. These noble men and women were called the Archons. Those same brave souls stand before you now. The masked woman is Ida, and beside her is Popalimo. The two are charged with surveying the Twelveswood.
Hey, Goofy Bot, what's up? Nice of you to join in today.
Hello there.
Welcome. I had every confidence that you would agree to help us.
Me too. Okay, my turn to introduce someone. That there is Thancred.
He is our man here in Ul'dah, Jewel of the Desert.
Welcome to the team. If I may, the lovely maiden beside me is named Y'shtola. Limsa Lominsa has the pleasure of being under her care.
Greetings. Last but not least is Urianger, who presides over all affairs within these halls. Pray seek him out whenever you have questions.
Dawn may banish even the darkest night. The words of a dear friend. I am glad of our meeting.
At the Battle of Carteneau, our leader was taken from us. But we did not stray from our purpose. We sought out Minfilia and others with her talent, and together established the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Along with the Archons, those blessed with the Echo play a pivotal role in our endeavor to forge a brighter tomorrow for the realm. Oh, I should also introduce you to Tataru, our clerk. She ensures that everything runs smoothly.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
In time, I hope you will come to think of us as family. But without further ado, I would assign you your first task. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have received a request for aid from the Immortal Flames.
Hello, Hydro. Welcome in.
Thancred, would you do the honors?
It would be my pleasure. Some days ago, a crystal caravan registered to Amagina and Sons mineral concern was waylaid and divested of its cargo. But there is more. Within a bell of the robbery, several people were reported missing from the shantytown outside the city.
You can call me Teal. Thank you for asking.
At a glance, one would assume the involvement of bandits, kidnappers, and coincidence. Such crimes are hardly uncommon, and the Immortal Flames deal with their like almost every day. However, this time we have reason to believe that a primal is involved.
Aye, the evidence left behind implicates the Emulja, who are known worshippers of Ifrit. If we then consider the objects that were taken, there is no room left for doubt. The crimes were committed in the name of a primal.
That you may better understand the nature of our struggle with the primals, I would have you play the leading role in this investigation. You have my thanks.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, Hydro. Hope you enjoy my stream.
If there is aught you wish to know, I recommend you speak with Thancred. He is well versed in the affairs of Ulda.
Ever at your service, fair lady.
Ready to begin, are we? That's the spirit. So then, our mission is to investigate a crystal robbery and a spat of abductions. Crimes which we believe to be connected. Assuming we are correct, it is like that any discoveries we make in relation to one will further our understanding of the other. Now, since the attack on our caravan, our friends at Amaranja and Sons Mineral Concern have doubled security all over their shipments. In light of this, it is my judgment that the abduction should be our priority. In According to the preliminary findings, the majority of the missing were last seen in the vicinity of Camp Drybone. So that would seem a fine place to begin. A fellow by the name of Eisenbard serves as Camp de facto leader. Pay him a visit and see he gives us his full cooperation. Currently a conjurer. I like the insta cues when I'm trying to level up. On a 2. Great. Okay. Good with that. Am I attuned to anything nearby? It does not look like it. Oh, this is gonna be a trip and a half. Yay! Looks like the fastest ways. The mainland? Alright, let's go to Ulda. I try as healer. I try. I'm not a great healer, but I try my hardest. She brought the perfect dress for her name as Princess Peach. Huh. The class I really like playing is Rogue. It's just one of the classes where I'm just like chilling out. Don't really want to think too much. Yeah, lock-on system can be kind of tricky. Can't wait till the Chocobo quest so I can stop running. Does anybody else think it's creepy that that guy's face mask like matches his skin tone? Is that supposed to be like a thing? It's supposed to match their skin tone? Kind of creepy looking. Finally made it! The Isambard. I'm Isambard. Here to search for the missing folk, I take it? Minfilia sent word that an adventurer fitting your description would be along. She also warned us to be wary about the Amaraja. Seems we know who the culprits are at the very least. Now, I bear no official title at this camp, but the people here have come to look to me for leadership. You have my word that I'll do all I can to help see the victims safely return. I hate it when I do that. Hit the wrong button and it tries to portal you back to the same location. Let's get right down to it. Minfilia names the Amaraja culprits in all this. You do well to investigate them first. Much harm has been levied on these lands by the Amaja. The flames burn where they might, but their light cannot stay in the darkness. In all places, at all times. There have been brutal murders of callers at the church in the Saint Admalandama. Innocents wishing no more than to pay their respects to the dead. Poor souls deserve a proper burial. I would see to the deed before mongrels catch their scent. But I know not of the Maljas still lingers. Would you secure their remains for me, friend? You'll find them on the eastern road. 12 willing. You may even come to learn something of what the Amaja seek in this area. Oh yeah, you get to go kill something. Oh, that was easy. It is good to see you returned. Were you able to secure the remains of our fallen? With the bodies given back proper to the earth, the souls will find their way across to the other side. You have done a noble deed this day. I thank you. Now then, what of the Amaja? Did you see any? Surely such massive monstrosities, as they cannot conceal their presence, much less take their quarry unawares. Ah, so there were Amaja remaining after all. I feared as much. Their part in the lowborn disappearing is all but confirmed. But I sense there is more to this than meets the eye. The occasional Amaja raiding party would not account for people going missing in these kinds of numbers. Total is too great, and the questions too many. It would not surprise me in the least to learn of another hand in this, but whose? Countless travelers pass through Drybone every day, and even if it were one among them, how would we best discover who may be complicit in these vanishings? What say we turn an eye to the common folk themselves? It may be among them that we find reasons for these vanishings. 12 forbid it be so. There is a merchant by the name of Ungust who was born here in Drybone and grew up in the Golden Bazaar. A rough character, but he knows the people better here than anyone else. I'd wager he's at the end, whiling away the day's earnings. Here, I'll write a note for you to show him. Else he's not like to speak to you. Ugh. Gods be damned! You're that bloody adventurer who threatened me back in Ul'dah. What in the seven hells do you want with me now? Dear friend, ugh, missing people, please help. Yours is embarred. Look around here as wary as they come. They'll turn tail and run if you do as much as pass wind nearby. Play made them all for fools and coaxed some hard labor out of them, I did. If anything, they're even more timid than before. Well, with all the disappearances, you go talk to them yourself if you don't believe me. Please, miss. Just leave me alone.
I have nothing to say about this. I'll take who or whatever's been feeding off of us low folk.
What? What do you want from me? I don't know anything. I swear. Please don't kill me. Yeah, I'd say they're pretty terrified. Now let's go back to talking to the cranky guy. Just as I told you, wasn't it? A whole lot of them are terrified. There's even been talk of folk getting abducted. But if you ask me, they simply up and move to a better place. This place isn't exactly Costa del Sol, if you know what I'm saying. No, sir. This character does not know what you're saying, for we have not been to Costa del Sol. Welcome back, Teal. Have you learned aught of import? I see. I suppose I should have expected as much from Mungus. Well, another thought occurred to me in your absence. The common folk are nothing if not fervent in their religious beliefs. Perhaps if they speak freely to their gods, then the clergy may know something of use. If we would know what the common folk speak to their gods, we've no better place than to ask in the Church of Saint Admalama. It is a small and humble church found northwest of here. And so long as you're headed there, might I ask you to deliver this embalmed corpse? A morbid request, I grant you. But it must be borne to burial, and I trust none more than you to see it done. Seek out a man named Marquis. He tends the graves of the Lickyard. He'll tell you more about the body that is to be inferred. Hooray! Does he ask all strange travelers to carry his dead to the burial grounds? At least it's a pretty night out here. With all those stars. I am Marquis. Yes, a body? Of course. There have been so many bodies of late. I apologize, miss. If you seek a place of burial, then there is an empty grave atop the ridge. Take the path and lay him to rest there. When I first played this game, I had no idea how to get up to the ridge. I was like walking all around it. And I went back to Marquis thinking, you know, if I talked with him again that he might say something different of where the trail was. And I was like, OMG, it is right there next to him. May they all walk in the Thal's realm. What? Missing people? I'm afraid I cannot help you. But maybe Sister Arson can. She has been kind to me. Everyone has been so kind. I don't know why though. Pardon me. You'll find Sister Arson within the church walls.
I hear you have done us the service of burying a fallen soul. Please accept our gratitude and extend it to Isambard when next you see him. You seek knowledge of missing dry bone inhabitants? It is true I am closer to the people than any other of the Order. I confide in them, and they in me. When they wish to speak to our keeper, Thal, I am the medium through which they do. Should I learn anything pertinent, I'll be sure to share the information with you. I only wish Marquis would be more helpful in the matter. I pray he did nothing to offend. He saw terrible things during the calamity. His scars run deep indeed. He seems to now prefer the company of the dead over the living. While tragic, I fear such behavior ill befits the church. I received word not long ago that one of our recent visitors, a man called Thancred, I believe, took offense at his conduct. I must have word with Marquis, and soon.
Thank you, Teal. A barrier is failure. Blah, 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 blah. Hi, Exantos. How ya doing? It has been a while since I've talked with you. I heard you were talking to Nikki on her stream the other day. I've been doing pretty good. Very cold where I'm at. No problem. She's literally right across the room from me. She says, hello. I think she's doing pretty good today.
over there silently playing her game, so pretty good day when it's a silent day.
Oh.
She took offense to that. Yeah, it did. She was not a happy camper. That happened right before an electrician came over our house. So, yeah, she was not a happy camper. And then she had a fake happy in front of the electrician. Okay. Thank you, Teal. A burial is no easy thing, even when the departed is a stranger. Were you able to learn aught of missing common folk? You've been keeping yourself rather busy of late, haven't you, Teal? A pleasure, my dear Isambard. The name is Thancred, and I share a passion with you and our mutual friend here for learning what became of these missing persons and why. I too spoke with Ungus more times than I care to count. There seems to be some truth in his notion of the common folk speaking their secrets to only those in the service to the gods. Frustration, prayer, and penance. Abject deeds done behind closed doors, away from prying eyes. Who better to take the pious unawares than she who takes confession? The good sister, Orson herself. Orson? She wouldn't. She couldn't. Even the most beautiful roses have thorns, my friend. And you would be wise to keep an eye on this rose. Still the Lickkeeper Marquis. I swear to the 12, I've seen that face somewhere else before. We do have Discord. We don't usually give it out, though. And yes, you should be asleep if it's 2 o'clock in the morning your time. I do appreciate you popping in before you fell asleep. I appreciate that. Sister Orson. It cannot be. Though she is wont to travel to the Golden Bazaar on her own, and it's not uncommon to see her speaking to the children. But no, it could not be she. Could it? I grow weary of these suspicions. I know there is one child in particular that she is fond of. Pray seek out the boy, and see if you cannot glean something from him about Orson's activities. Isn't that what my story time is for? Putting people to sleep? Thank you. I hope you have a great night. Hopefully it's restful for you. Please help! Sister Orson went out all on her own and hasn't come back. She always reads to me right here about Thal and the Order and the other side. I told her I lost my shiny thing and she went looking for it. What if the monsters outside hurt her? Please find her. Stop that one. I moved. You're the one from the church. Thank goodness you arrived when you did. It seems my gratitude is yours yet again. You spoke with the child? Yes. Well, I was able to find his lost trinket. It's a ring given to him by his mother before she passed. I will see it safely back to him. I'm not going to run all that distance back to Camp Drybone. Sister Orson was attacked outside the Golden Bazaar. Gods forfend. I'll secure a room at the inn for her should she require any rest. Searching for mementos of orphans and risking her own well-being in doing so, no less? Certainly not the dastardly deeds Thancred would have us believe. I am well glad I reserved that inn room for Sister Orson. It seems she received greater injuries from her attackers than she initially let on. Thankfully, she is expected to make a full recovery. But now, on to the matter at hand. Thancred came looking for you once more. He left word that he'll be waiting at the Amaja encampment to the southeast. I pray the two of you are able to uncover some evidence regarding these disappearances. Ah, there you are, Teal. So good of you to come. Indeed, I've heard about good Sister Orson. Isambard said her wounds were serious. It would seem my suspicion about the poor Rose were misplaced. But false though they were, perhaps my suspicions were not entirely without merit. Whilst following Sister Orson near the Golden Bazaar, a band of Amaja caught my eye. I tracked them as far as this encampment. But, well, let's just say I would much prefer to keep my distance and remain here. This, of course, brings me to why I requested you, dear Teal. Would you be so kind as to take a look inside? Now, why can't you do it, Thancred? Why do I gotta risk my limbs? Clear leaflet. I like this leaflet. They should have made it rainbow colored. Well, did anything tickle your fancy? This leaflet. See the wealth of nod to the hands of your children. Looks to be some sort of assembly to provide poor with work. The lettering, though, atrocious, is it not? And these bits about the Naldal seem somewhat less than studied. I find it hard to believe one among the Order penned this. Pray, take this to the inn at Camp Drybone and see what Sister Orson makes of it. Ends up here. My savior comes again. To what do I owe the honor this day? What is this? Blasphemous! These are not our teachings at all. This was not made by any true brother or sister of the Order. Of that, I can assure you. Come to think of it, weeks ago, the church was plagued by missing garments. Could someone be posing as a priest of the Order to deceive the people? The plot thickens. Our culprit pretends to be a priest to lend credence to his deception. There is no doubt an irony in there somewhere. but I suspect we have a worthy adversary on our hands. I shall consider how to best handle this. For now, tell Isambard what we have learned here. Okay. Posing as a priest? To think. These troubling notions aside, it's gratifying to finally be able to move this investigation forward. Thank you once again. I shall keep my ears and eyes open, now more than ever. I'm afraid I have not seen any unusual activity, nor have any at this camp, giving me the cause to doubt them. But unless I can identify the culprit, and soon, more innocents will fall victim. Do not despair just yet, my friend. An idea occurs to me. Our suspect has been posing as a priest, using leaflets bear false promises to lure the poor. Let Teal and me serve like with like, by posing as impoverished souls in need of succor. Ah, I dare to hope that this will yield us answers we seek. It would be a dangerous undertaking, but you two are more capable of looking after yourselves. I'm next to useless in battle, but I can supply the garments for the disguise. These old tunics and slops should serve your needs, so long as you don't mind the smell and the stains. These will serve very well. You have my thanks. Listen, Teal. So as to lay the foundation of our little ploy, we must make it widely known that more vagrants have arrived at the camp and are desperate for coin. To this end, I want you to don the old garments Isbam lent us and beg for work around the camp. Before long, the false priest should catch wind and approach us. Alright, let's put on some stuff and go look like a shepherd. And you are? Another refugee by the looks of you. The immemorial flames have neither work nor coin for your like. Be gone, and see to it you don't make a nuisance of yourself. And I was about to get to the good part. Looking for work, you say? Sorry, but we don't have any openings. Now get out of here so I can finish my story. I preach the teachings of Asmaya, the warden. Hast thou come to partake of the honey of her wisdom? As Maya is the keeper of the sun, the goddess of inquiry, all is laid bare beneath the light of her divine countenance. Open thine heart to this light, needy child, and thou shalt want for naught till the end of days.
What is it? God, it's not again. Look, being poor doesn't give you the right to pester whomsoever you like. Why don't you keep with your own kind out by that muddy pond of yours at Drybone? Right? Right? Guessing it's the next room thing. I always get this one wrong. Guessing it's in here. Oh. Greetings, ma'am. Is there aught I might assist you with? Oh, I don't believe there is. I'm afraid our wares are very expensive. Mayhap you should rejoin your fellows out by the pond north of Sandgate. You have quite a knack for being a nuisance, Teal. The camp is abuzz with talk of newly arrived vagrants. And though we were unable to attract our wayward transgressor, we were able to learn that the poor have a commune by the pond north of Sandgate, to the east of here. The eyes of the authorities do not reach that place. Rather ideal for spiriting away hapless souls. Let us go there and wait for the kindly priest to come and offer us aid and comfort. Needless to say, you'll need to remain in disguise. Yay. It's remain in disguise. Fine morning for catching false priests, wouldn't you say? You look absolutely smashing, Teal. Positively dressed for deception. All that's left then is to wait for our quarry to appear. Oh, you poor unfortunate souls. This is no way for men to live. No way at all. Who are you? What do you want? Be ease, child, for I mean you no harm. I am a priest of the Order of Nathalda, and I come to offer you succor. This leaflet bears the teaching of Nald. Trust to them. They'll surely set you free from the shackles of Pendry. A tempting offer. I'm afraid I must decline. On account of that atrocious performance. You would have made a gods all murmur, Ungust. What? How did you bastards tricks me?
Please, don't hurt me. I was only doing it to protect my people. Is that so? Do continue. Very well. I'm a man of the Golden Bazaar, raised here, if not born. Some moons ago, the Amaraja raids began. They would appear sudden as sandstorm and plundered and pillaged at will. Our defenders wouldn't stand against them. Few as they were, everyone lived in fear. I wanted to save my people, but being a merchant was all I knew. So I did the only thing a merchant could. I approached Amaraja in hopes of buckering a deal. In return for sparing the Golden Bazaar, they made demands, outrageous ones. Demands? Of what kind, pray tell? First of all, they wanted to schedule for crystal shipments from the Nirwana mines. For this, I bribed one of my workers to leak me the information. Next, they wanted me to bring them people. So I posed as a priest to lure in the vulnerable and gave them over to Amaja. I didn't have a choice. Protecting one's home is a noble thing. But at the cost of innocence, you could have sought the aid of the immortal flames. Yet you did not. I suspect you are not telling me the full story. You may sell your own people. Speak. Was good. What did you say? The coin! The coin was good, I said. I could sell mole meat for a score of lifetimes and not even see a fraction of what the Amaja pay me. You sacrificed the innocent so you could line your own pockets? Words fail to express the contempt I feel for you. Spare me your contempt. If you want to blame someone for the mess, the world's end, then blame yourselves or the gods. Ah! Not you again. You were the one leaking immortal flames patrol routes to the enemy as well. Spit it out. No, I know nothing about that, I swear it. At this stage, I'm rather disinclined to believe aught that leaves your mouth. But no matter, there'll be time enough to learn the truth. Teal, be a dear, and take the word of these developments to Minfilia, would you? I shall prize everything I can from this stuff. The abductees are still somewhere out here. Our foremost priority is to rescue them. Go to the waking sands. I don't like going to the waking sands. These little Vesper Bay Aetherite tickets. I like these. Because it takes me right where I need to. This was a good thing that they added. Although they could add an Aetherite current right here, but I guess the tickets will do. Current crystal, Aetherite crystal here. Go talk to Minfilia. Welcome back, Teal. I'm pleased that you and Thancred have been getting along. I see. You've done well to uncover the truth.
My thanks for the report. As Thancred said, we must ascertain where the abducted were taken, and none but the Almaraja know the answer. Suffice it to say, they will not willingly part with this information. I fear blood will be spilled before all is said and done. Though we seek a peaceful solution to the primal problem, we must needs be ready to fight for our cause. That you might take to the field suitably prepared, I would have you meet with a goblin acquaintance of mine. His name is Mutamex Bubblypots. He is a scholar of no small repute. Mutamex is renowned for having introduced a revolutionary method of enhancing equipment to Eorzea. The knowledge of this method was once closely guarded secret, but thanks to Mutamex and his students, it has now been disseminated to be the great benefit of the realm. It would serve you well to acquire an understanding of the process. For this purpose, I shall lend you a blade. Take it to Mutamex and bid him to use it to demonstrate his craft to you. Mutamex is ever to be found at his camp in central Thanalan, a place known as the Bonfire. Look for a pillar of smoke, and the way will become clear. Mutamex is pollinating, polluting the planet? Oh no. Not Mutamex bubbly pots. Why would bubbly pots be polluting the planet with smoke? Bubbly pots. It's just a funny last name. That's a pillar of some weird smoke. Car? Ooh, it's this uplander come tentering of Mutamex body parts. Mighty true. Drinks an airy self. When full of airy self, Flighty Tool changes to Stony Shine. Name of materia. If materia join with the other Fighty Tool, and Fighty Tool, big eyes. Fighty Tool gains power of airy self. Shah? Mutamex is reckoning the uplander as friend of Manphilia. Yes. Tongue flaps. Reach ears of Mutamex with fastness. Manphilia wants Uplander to see power of materia. Uplander brings Fighty Tool to Mutamex, yes? Shka? Fighty Tool is unstrung and as eating tool.
make good TG show power of materia.
The materia, master.
Now, eyes of a plunder. Point that at fighty tool, yes? Shka! Materia join with fighty tool. Fighty tool gains power of materia. Fighty tool reborn. Here, Uplander, take fighty tool to Menphilia.
Materia, strictly speaking, is a kind of crystal. It's created by drawing out austere constituents from a piece of equipment and then crystallizing them. Not just any old equipment will serve, mind you. It must have sufficient spirit bond. That being a measure of how fully an item can be imbued with the owner's spirit.
When you attach a piece of materia to gear, you imbue a host item with its power. That's how Master Mudamex turned that dagger of yours from Summit, as would have struggled to cut steak into a weapon worth wielding. Pshka? Uplander wishes you be joiner of materia? Then Uplander best fill brain case with knowings of crafty making. With knowings of crafty making, Uplander can become joiner of materia. If Uplander wants brain case to rattle with knowings of materia, Uplander best trade tongue flaps with learning ones of Mudamex.
Oh, that was fun. And we gotta go all the way back to the Waking Suns. Welcome back, Teal. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful. Ah, what a remarkable difference a single piece of material can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not easily acquired. But one needs to look upon the results to realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I'm sure you are aware, the quality of one's equipment can be the difference between victory and defeat. Material may well serve you and yet serve you the edge you need, so make it your ally. Now it's time to discuss the matter of your next mission. Pray, speak with me when you are ready to begin. Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungus, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Amalja to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalja, responsible for the abductions. So they mean to have Angus attend as planned. As the Amalja are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provide it to them, Teal. Tancred is presently attending to another matter, but will join you as soon as he is able. Until such time he does, you will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me to tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, a confidence I share. When you have made ready, please take yourself to Camp Drybone and report to the Flame Sergeant leading the mission. You may walk in the light of the crystal. You may walk in the light of the crystal. You may. Alright, let's see what's on this weapon cover. Alright, and recommended gear. Oh, looks like I got some new boots on. Report to Sergeant at Captain Drive. Let's go beat up some Raja! Ah, you're Teal Fixin' of the Scions? My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on your mission. Our objective is to capture Amalja and prize them for whereabouts of the abductees. The Lizardmen aren't aware that their man, August, has been exposed. When they come to Rendezvous Point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we requested the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more of the Maja plot of the mission succeeds, Teal. Let's make sure it does. Okay. And I get to go all the way back up to that place where that kid was.
anticipate in place. Our man is in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the Maharaja appear. Yes, sir. Ah! What's the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the immortal flame's clutches for the moons before finally being caught. Did you not wonder how I managed it? Because I almost forgot if someone was feeding him information from the inside. Aye, your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I'd love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. Okay. Well, I wanted to kill some of them. Let's go fight! up your weapon! Your comrade's a dead man! Behind you! Bring her. The rest of you march! Treacherous scum! I fear the Maharaja mean to give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, then let me die a soldier's death, with steel in hand. Ooh, is this the Ifrit fight? I think it's the Ifrit fight. Insta-cues, love them. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. Almighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. Almighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mock them as your own. Bloody hells! Bring those two as well. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the rite of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No! Spare me, I beg you! Pitiful children of man, my breath I claim. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall be burned. Almighty Ifrit, my one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible! By what sorcery do you resist my master's will? Can it be? Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. Forsooth, thy frail mortal frame can serve as vessel to the blessing of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance waxeth clear. Thou art of the godless blessed's number. The paragons warned of thine abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. Yes. Map off there because I don't need it. Healing because this guy's healing himself. Awesome. Ooh, a fire crystal. Come to me. Join my apothecary. Pray, forgive my lateness. Yeah, you're pretty late, Thancred. I was delayed by a congregation of Malja zealots. I swear, each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives. No less than I'd expect from the Flame General's hand-picked men. As for those two, it's fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Teal. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have left you to face it alone. You have been given a veritable baptism of fire. Well, let's continue this conversation in more agreeable surrounds. dry bones, shall we say? This way, sir! So that was the mighty Ifrit. And what disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated, even taking Uldan interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-star old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely on. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not there was aught worth a damn for it to read. But I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I am troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that, beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. Nobody tossed me a commendation. Aren't you supposed to toss a toy into your healer? Oh, Valley of Plenty? Ah, there you are. Come rest a while. You'll have no better opportunity. After witnessing their god's ignominious defeat, the Maljo will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use. To you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. For once a man is tempered. Ah. But it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still no reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand, no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual. Not that I've ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What could I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax. Return to the Waking Sands when you're good and ready. We can discuss matters more in detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. I'm gonna go to Gridania here so I can get my job quest done. This will be my little rest that Thancred wants me to take. Welcome, Teal. The tales of your deeds reach me even here in the clustered heart of Stilgane Fane. I'm glad that you have come, for I would ask your assistance in a matter of some delicacy. It concerns, yes, young Sylphie once again. As you can doubt, I imagine, the recent revelations concerning her mother have sorely troubled the poor child. It appears Sylphie needed some time alone to sort through the whirlwind of emotions, which now beset her. She has, in short, fled from the guild. Fortunately, a party of conjurers who were dispatched to South Shroud to investigate another instance of corruption sent word that they have spotted our wayward Sylphie. Considering the importance of their mission, I would not seek to distract the conjurers from their task. Thus, I turn to you to escort Sylphie back here to the guild. You are, I believe, one of the few people to whom she will listen. Pray, travel to Buscarin's Druthers and speak with Wilfu. She was the conjurer who first chanced upon Sylphie, and will be able to tell you more of how the young lady fares. Apparently I can't read tonight. And unattune the quarry mill and unattune the camp tranquil. Why, of course. Why would I be attuned to places? In the middle of the night, I'm running in the woods, getting eaten by mosquitoes and some poisonous looking flowers.
meet again, Teal. I assume Brother Isumi warned you of the corruption my companions and I have been tasked with purifying here in South Shroud. The source of its extensive blight is found to the southeast. The shrill, discordant voices of the elementals shriek their dismay in the vicinity of the wildered Trent. I suggest you give the area a wide berth. Considering the potential dangers, you might imagine how alarmed I was to discover young Sylphie wandering about this part of Twelveswood. It seems that her mother, a woman who healed with conjury but remained untrained by the guild, called this region her home. Sylphie herself had her head buried in some manner of tomb. But if she is sensitive to the elements, murmurings, as I have led to believe, then the din within her mind must be driving her to distraction. Pray, speak with the child and see that she is well. I could do so myself if our current duty were not so pressing. We will, in fact, be setting out at any moment. Teal? I should have known that Wilfie would tattle on me. And Brother Isumi sent you to take me back, didn't he? This is where my mother used to live, you know. Right up until she passed. Folk were grateful for the healing she offered. And this is the journal she used to keep. There's an entry that explains how nature becomes furious when conjurers use their art. How there are always more people wounded in battles when mortals abuse the power that is not theirs to take. My mother refused to draw on nature because she was scared of making it angry. She wouldn't lie about such things. And I want to do what she would have wanted. I'm going to stop using conjury altogether. Never heard the voices this mad before. I bet it's because Wilfu and the others are overusing their art. We have to go and stop them. Yeah, Matt, I can actually see where I'm going. Flower try to kill. But of course, why wouldn't a flower try to kill? God, it's so loud. Can't you hear it? Mother Nature is shrieking in rage. Ooh, get to kill some wood.
dance with this flower wanting to kill me. I can't believe nature actually helped us. There was nothing scary about it at all. I might still wonder if it was safe for the conjurers to borrow that power if I hadn't seen the way you wielded it. Nothing could seem more natural. I think it's time I went back to the guild. There's a few things I need to collect first, so please go ahead without me. One minute. It looks like we're gonna wait here for a minute here. Is everybody having a good night so far? Been quite an adventurous evening. Less than a minute. Okay. It'd be nice if I had a countdown. Be a little countdown timer on it. You can see how long you have to wait. Even if it is just a few seconds. Less than 30 seconds. Woo! So they can put that up, but they can't have an actual timer counting down. Hey look, I can return to Gridania. Woohoo! Welcome back, Teal. And also you, Sylphie. Brother Yusumi, I'm so sorry I ran away like that. I understand, child. Did you find the answers you sought? Yes. Thanks to Teal, she showed me that nature was nothing to be afraid of. I think I know why my mother refused to call upon its power. She believed that the act caused suffering to nature itself. I see. So it was her very love of nature that prevented her from drawing on its strength. Tell me, Sylphie, has the fog of indecision now lifted from your mind? It has, Guildmaster. I understand now why my mother chose the path she did. I'm full glad to hear that, for I must ask you one more question. Yes, Brother Isumi? When you first witnessed Teal cleanse the corrupted element, you mentioned hearing voices. How exactly did they sound? The voices? Well, they sounded joyful.
like a crowd letting out a sudden cheer. I really heard them, I swear. I'm sure you did, Sophie. This is a gift. Conjurers may sense the power of nature and borrow from its strength, but not all can hear its whispers. What you describe are the voices of the elementals. You may very well possess the talent to become a hearer. A hearer? Of course, much relies on your studies of conjuring. You have a natural aptitude, but have thus far lacked commitment. You must not neglect your training, Sophie. Putting aside such matters for a moment, I'm curious to hear about the disturbance you observed in South Shroud, Teal. I assume from the reports I have received that it was of a different magnitude to those which you have previously encountered, am I correct? This bodes ill. The creatures known as mud pies are not native to the Twelveswood. I wonder what relation this may have with the seemingly ever-increasingly frequency of these disturbances. Something beyond the damage wrought by the calamity affects the Twelveswood. I shall commune with the elementals and seek to identify this threat. Teal, Sylphie, I may have need of you both before long. Until then, give yourselves over to the study of our art. Ever shall the earth meet your footfall and the wind guide your path. Ah, yes. Now let's go to the Waking Suns. I think I'm just gonna say it like that every single time. I'm gonna talk to Nedrick Ironheart. He normally unlocks the hard levels of places. Hail there, adventurer! I'm Nedrick Ironheart, explorer by trade and a scion by alliance. And you, my friend, look to me, an adventurer in need of a challenge. I happen to know just a place that will offer it to ya. Tucked away in the corner of Eastern Thanlands lies Haltidi. And it is more than that, you'll find all the excitement you crave. The place boasts a storied history. It was built some 100 years past as a training ground for gladiators. Calamity laid it to ruin, though, as it did most things. Now Haltidi is a shadow of its former self. Within the dark of that shadow lurk wild beasts, both bloodthirsty and beyond count. For one such as yourself, I dare say, there is no finer place than Haltidi to test your skill and refine your technique. Indeed, I've taken the liberty of passing your name along to the flames who oversee the place. Should your visit, speak with one Fafjoni near the entryway. Where's the entryway?
Waking Sands report to the Scions. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Tancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar giving a full report to Lady Manphilia. You should join them at once. Lady Manphilia is most eager to see you. My late arrival nearly cost Teal her life. I wasn't there when the Amaja took her prisoner. And I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle she survived. But that does not excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed her utterly. Just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Tancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Teal, it's so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Manphilia with your heroic exploits. Tancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great. Yet a part of me believes I had no cause to fear. And now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amaja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is the tale limited to Ulda. Similar incidents have been rife with both Limsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, the primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here. And the stronger they become, the more ether they acquire. Now, ether exists throughout the creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether. Crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon towards which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. And this is coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, the primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their appearance freely give. And in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process which you yourself were subjected. Yet, even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remain unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo.
We know not why of it, but those blessed with the echo are immune to primal influence. As though a greater power protects us. When you first came to us, I told you that the echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why.
The recent incidents all share a common trait. Meticulous training, such elaborate designs, are new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding.
While I share your concern, my presiding feelings is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assure me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Teal. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you'll have nearly a moment to yourself.
Whether she intended to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think would best interest you if you heard it from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report that they're all to be put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to Primal, whom he cannot choose but worship. So we the Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Teal. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Louis Soir would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger.
Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Ida and Papalimo that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in doing so. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you soon shall discover. We have guests, Teal. Or rather, you have guests.
Beg pardons. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I'm given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I'm here on behalf of the Maelstrom Grand Company of Limzalominza, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks.
As you can see, Teal, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the grand companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I myself wondering how word of Teal's deed spread so quickly that the immortal flame should know her triumph is to be expected. But what of the other grand companies?
Your reputation precedes you, Mistress Vixen. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. And imagine our pride when we learned you began your journey as adventurer in our own Gridania. Know that the people hold you in high esteem, and that you will always be welcome among us. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of a valiant woman such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together, let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet ya, Mistress Vixen. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A woman of your talent belongs with the mortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ulda. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It's only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join our strength to yours. And together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia?
Very well. Though I'm quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the grand companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are precisely 3 such organizations in Eorzea. The Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ulta. Serving a grand company means you'll be serving a nation to which it belongs. You'll be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return, your faithful service will be furnished with various rewards, some of which you may well prove useful to you in other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which grand company best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your alliance at a later date, you are entitled to do so. And yet, I concede that it is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will of course recall that the last 3 city-states are planning to hold a remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I'm given to understand that the leader of each grand company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers?
A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well. Let Teal hear our leaders speak, and then return here with her decision. We eagerly await your answer.
I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to discipline of military service. But I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it's not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Teal, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract attention. Not all of it is friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs to be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one woman. In the midst of a grand company, however, you'll be one woman amongst many. A friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The grand companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be a fan more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Teal, and you have the power to shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it's time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Taru. She will apprise you as to where and when the Remember services are due to take place. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Teal. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly, and too often, and a few too many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the Remembered services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of the 3 services. The Elder Seedseer, Connie Sena, will deliver her address at the Maketos Amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port call. Next, you'll need to go to Ulda, where the Flame General Raoban Alden will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored that there will be to be a special guest. How exciting! Last but not least, you'll make your way to the stateroom in Limsa La Mensa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merweb Bolzerswin will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry Nathaniel, and he'll will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the remembered services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though. With your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. All right, let's go to Gridania.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The three Seed Seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body.
Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seed Seer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising... Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you, join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us... We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the forest.
The
elementals!
click. Oops.
If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
Gridanians are unfortunate enough to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition, and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent. Having long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed at roughly the time they summon the primal Ramu. Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict last resort.
though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do in self-defense. For as the Sylphs, they are yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood is grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I wager? Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and their insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war. When it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove then? Well, perhaps we'll find out if the Elder Seer's words fell on fertile ground. Let's go here. Raubon's address.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanamo herself!
And Raubon as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Naldar have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Uldar!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you, line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
Ya for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your Grace.
Raoban? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measured that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the Inferno, for we are by fire reborn! Forsooth!
The time is now!
I fancy meeting you again.
The Aldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Aldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. And so have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smoldering his flames each time he is stroked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless. And even assuming that they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amaja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do, the Uldans send their forces to smite the Primal, and though they've irreparably succeed, each victory is brought with blood. It is a war of attraction that they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, the adventurer of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. Hi, Cosmic! Haven't seen you in a while. I appreciate the compliment. I'm going to sleep the wrong way, aren't I? Yes, yes I am. Here to attend the remembrance service? Be quick. The Admiral is due to give her address at any moment.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom Standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom. and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Merlin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the 7 hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa Lominsa is plagued by 2 beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Shagan, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Lominsa's backyard. And that is to say naught of eternal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to blood feuds between various fractions, and while they fight amongst themselves, Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Lominsans are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take a decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom standard will be drenched in deeper shade of crimson ere long. That capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. So my day's going pretty good, Cosmic. It's been very cold where I live. Like single digits. I'm so tired of winter. Teal, this is Menphilia. You are well, I hope? Would I be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service is now concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. To return, I need to go inventory. Waking Sands. Welcome back, Teal. Were the Grand Company leader's words as illuminating? What? Aye, each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such high demand. Would that there were more of you, Teal. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer.
The gods only know what Grand Company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alize, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
I know, Alphino and Alize sound so bratty. And so different from their other voices. I'm pretty sure they switched voice actors, like, after this expansion. Because she completely sounds totally different. And Alphino sounds way more mature later on. I take it the Elder Seedseer's words have touched your heart. Have you resolved to entwine your destiny with that of the twin adder? You have chosen wisely, my friend. The Elder Seedseer will be overjoyed. Without further ado, let us speak of practical matters. In order to complete the enrollment procedure, you must report to the Adder's Nest. I dare say you know it well from your wanderings in New Gridania. Give your name to the personal officer there and he will guide you through the formalities. I have no doubt but that your deeds will bring great honor to our order. When next we meet in Gridania, I shall be proud to call you sister. Oh my gosh. Jesus is playing a harp. You are come to the Adder's Nest, headquarters of the Order of the Twin Adder. Ever do we welcome they who would toll in the elemental's name for the good of the Forest Nation.
My name is Teal Vixen. I believe you are expecting me.
Ah, the great adventurer herself. Yes, our recruitment officer sent word that you are on our way. It is a pleasure and an honor both to welcome you to our ranks, friend. Now let me gather together the relevant documentation. Sir! What is it? Report! An urgent message from the Messick Spire, sir! The High Wind Skyways airship has been taking fire from the Imperial forces in the skies over the East Shroud. The vessel's engines were crippled, sir, and it was forced to make an emergency landing southeast of the Nine Levies. 9 Levies? Gods! This could not have come at a worse time. All but a handful of our forces are presently afield, dealing with the Ixal. Teal, I know full well you have yet to be formally inducted into our ranks, but we have urgent need of your aid. In all likelihood, the airship is bearing civilians, and if the reports are accurate, it will have come down dangerously close to the Garlean-occupied territory. Please make all haste to the area southeast of the Nine Levies, locate the airship, and ascertain the status of the passengers. An adventurer? What are you doing out here? No, wait. Let's find some cover first. The Adder's Nest sent you. How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? You don't even have a uniform. Peace, friend. We mean you no harm. You're an engineer of Garland Ironworks, are you not? We were alerted to your plight and have come to rescue you. And you are Teal Vixen, I presume? I was told to expect an honorary serpent. My thanks for your aid, friend. I have never seen a craft of this design. This must be Garland's work. There's no end to that man's treachery. The secrets of Magitech belong to Imperial hands. They're not to be squandered on Eorzean savages. We're taking this craft back to the fortress. Dismantle it if you must, and bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. Imperial scouts from Castromorns. They mean to requisition the ship. Wedge! You have to help him! That fool of a Lalafell was hiding inside the tiny Bronco! The tiny Bronco? Isn't that Ironworks' latest creation? Yes, it's the first airship we built since the Calamity. And the first since Master Garland, well, since he went missing. After years of work, she was finally ready for her first flight test. And she was soaring! She really was, till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. Tend me all. The Ironworks' latest creation must not fall into Garlean hands. We shall strike them swift and sure and rescue the engineer Wedge. Teal, I trust we can rely on your support. May the matron watch over us. With me. An ambush! To arms!
activity complete. Da 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 da. Biggs! Wedge, you should have stayed with the ship. That was a close one. Too damn close. So how's she look anyway? The auxiliary propeller is at a dead loss, but I think we could wring enough thrust from the main propeller to get us airborne. A few minor modifications and we should be able to fly the tiny Bronco home. While you do your work, we'll keep watch over the perimeter. The enemy may yet be lurking nearby. As for you, Teal, you have more than done your part today. I bid you return to the Adder's Nest to complete your enlistment. I pray there will be no further interruptions. When next we meet, let it be as fellow serpents of the Order. I just wanted to say sorry, you know, for calling you an Imperial spy and all that. Got that one wrong, didn't I? Seriously though, if it hadn't been for you, the Twin Adder lads there, we'd be chained up in a dungeon by now. I'm in your debt, friend. We both are. Wedge? Thank you! We're very grateful. It does my spirit well to see you returned. Word having by moments ago from the team of the 9 levies, least you worry, the 2 engineers are safely on their way. The lieutenant informs me that you were instrumental in the mission's success. Had you not found Engineer Biggs when you did, and helped us rout the Garleans, things might have been very different. And all this before you're even inducted into the Order. You are well on your way to carving out a fine career for yourself beneath the Twin Adder standard. But without further ado, let us see you to your induction. 12 willing, there won't be any further interruptions. Protocol requires that I apprise you of who we are, what we do, after which I will invite you to swear the oath of your own free will. The Order of the Twin Adder is a grand company of Gridania. It brings together martial, economic, and technological resources of our nation, that we may stand strong in times of direst adversity, when our very survival hangs in the balance. The Order was formed in the days before the Calamity. Its readiness to fight the Garlean Empire and to combat the Beast Tribes and their primals. Needless to say, our struggle continues to this day. Elder Sea Seer Kani Sana is the supreme commander of our forces.
Under her wise leadership, we protect the people of Gridania, the sanctity of the Twelveswood. As the entwined serpents that grace our standard, yet let Forestborn strive as one with friends from afar to ensure that peace will ever reign in Gridania. In so doing, we honor the will of the elementals, and theirs is the will of the wood. Now then, Teal Vixen, I ask that you give unto us your oath of allegiance in whatever fashion you see fit.
Wood's will be done.
So you know the words of our grand company. That is well. Bound by this common belief, let us strive to preserve all that is good in this great nation. By the power vested in me, I assign you the rank of Serpent Private 3rd Class. You are now a woman of the Order of the 12th Adder. Go forth, Private Vixen, and do that which brings peace to the Twelveswood and honor to our name.
Can you hear me? Teal, this is Minfilia. An officer of the Order of the Twin Adder contacted me with the news of your enlistment. My congratulations, Private Vixen. I have no doubt that you are eager to make the acquaintance of your new comrades, but I would ask that you pay a visit to your old ones first. Remember, though you are now a serpent of Gridania, you are no less a scion. Pray, return to the Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. There are some friends here whom I'd very much like you to meet. We shall be waiting.
A distant call of a friend in need, perhaps? As you are needed elsewhere, I should not keep you any longer. I would, however, suggest speaking with High Serpent Commander Vostal before you depart. He may provide you with assistance in the journey ahead.
Ooh, I can accept the quest of Little Chocobo!
Private Vixen, I understand you have been working tirelessly in Gridania's name. You are truly an example to your fellow serpents. But tell me, have you ever felt as though you couldn't get to your destination quickly enough? That perhaps you could do swifter with a swifter pair of legs? If so, you might consider getting a personal Chocobo. You have yet to be issued your own bird, am I correct? Given your considerable talents, you should be able to obtain one in no time at all. Let me tell you how to go about it. First, you must obtain a Serpent Chocobo insurance by exchanging company seals with the quartermaster. Once you have this deed, present it to our main Chingua, and he will furnish you with a suitable bird.
back, Teal. Lady Minfilia awaits you within. Welcome back. It seems you've wasted no time putting your skills to work. How do I know? Why, the recruitment officer called to regale me with a tale of your heroics. The pride in his voice was palpable. We Scions are truly fortunate to have you with us, Teal. Now, when last we spoke, I said I wanted you to meet some friends, did I not? Well, I neglected to mention you have already met. Taru, please show them in. This way, sirs. Thanks again for getting us out of that mess. We owe you our lives. I don't think we properly introduced ourselves. I'm Biggs. And I'm... Gods, man, spit it out, will you? Wedge, at your service. I'm pleased to say that Biggs and Wedge will be staying with us for a while. Magitech-driven contraptions, such as airships, grow ever more vital to the city-states of Eorzea. As a neutral party, it was judged that we Scions should serve as the keepers of this technology. Of course, for this we needed the knowledge of experts, and so we requested the assistance of Garland Ironworks, who very kindly sent us 2 of their finest engineers. Our happy family continues to grow. On behalf of the Scions, I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands. Like every soul here, I love Eorzea. And I count myself blessed to have been given this chance to stand with you all and fight for the future of the realm. Never have I known such fulfillment, such happiness.
Now, having set aside the formalities, we have a favor to ask of you. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis, if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the Sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, Sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramu's existence is well documented, the Sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained, until such time as we know. It would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the Sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the Sylph's favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us? I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
We know far too little of the Sylphs to lay a worthwhile plans. We must call upon the Scions once more if we are to... beg pardons. It's a terrible habit of mine to think aloud. But tell me, what brings you to the Adder's Nest? Well, if it isn't Private Vixen reporting for duty. That's the zeal I like to see from an enterprising young serpent.
Good day, Commander. Sorry to disappoint you, but other business brings us here today.
Ida, Papalimo, always a pleasure to see the two of you. My men tell me you quest in the name of the Scions of late.
Quite so, Commander.
The little bird told us that the Twin Adder was in need of our adventuring prowess. Aye, your little bird sings true. No doubt you've heard that we're investigating the Sylphs, that curious beast tribe that calls it to the depths of the Twelveswood home. The Sylphs are, for the most part, a peaceful bunch. Much to the delight of the Elder Seedseer, who has no desire to see her people embroiled in yet another fruitless war. The Twin Adder is of the same mind, as 'tis precisely for this reason that the Sylphs, relation to the Primal Ronu, is raising the flag of warning amongst our ranks. Friendly as they appear, beastmen will be beastmen. Should there even be a sliver of a chance that summoning the Primal might disturb the balance between Gridania and the Sylphic tribes, it is a possibility we cannot ignore. Better to be safe than sorry, indeed. Do we strike at Ramu or leave the Sylphs to their own ways? That is the question. Yet I find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Opinions abound within Gridania, but to listen only to one's own is amongst the greatest mistakes a commander can make. I would hear from the other side, the Sylphs themselves, and seek an impartial party to serve as my liaison. That is where you Scions come in. The Sylphs of Little Solace remain untempered, and have had many productive dialogue with our people. I would hear their candid thoughts on their tempered brethren. That said, I urge you to exercise due caution.
Sylphic tradition and etiquette bear little resemblance to our own. It would not do to have any cross-cultured faux pas get in the way of productive parley. En route to Little Sauce, you'll come upon Hawthorne Hut. Our officer stationed there can enlighten you as to how to win the Sylph's favor. May your expedition be a worthwhile one. A friendly palaver with some sylphs. This should be a pleasant enough diversion. Hawthorne Hut, was it? Why, I believe the ferry departing from Westshire Pier should take us straight there. A friendly palaver indeed. I hope this will be straightforward as you say, Papalimo. I'm gonna get my Chocobo. I'm gonna get my Chocobo. I'm so excited about the Chocobo. I'm so excited. Not just here hiding. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. I want to, I want to. Woo! Cause I want to get my Chocobo. Want the bird issued, you say? Then I'll need to see your Chocobo insurance. Yes, everything appears to be in order. A moment, please. I'll be right back with your Chocobo. And here he is. The fellow has been in high spirits the past few bells. He must have sensed his master was coming. Now then, to make it official, you'll want to give your noble steed a name. Let me make sure it's all right. Gotta name my Chocobo after my kitty boyfriend. Who comes later on in the game? One of my favorite characters, Grahatia. Woohoo! I got the Chocobo. I dare say he likes his name. Here's your very own Chocobo whistle. Simply blow into it, and your feather friend will come bounding to your side. But do forgive him if he doesn't respond when summoned in crowded city areas or monster-infested lairs. Chocobos are stout-hearted creatures, but they have their limits. And lastly, I present you with your Chocobo Rider license. It is required by the law. And that concludes all formalities. I wish you and your Chocobo long years of fulfilling companionship. And use that. Yay! I can now use mounts. Looks like I need a good old Gridon. Apparently I haven't gotten that Ifrit crystal yet. Crystal right here. And I have attuned to all the shards in Gridania. Hey! The ferry docked at the base of this hill will carry you across the lake to East Shroud. Once you're ashore, head due east and you'll find Hawthorne Hut without much trouble. I be heading across the lake to Sweet Bloom Pier in Southeast Shroud. Yes, let's go across the lake. Well, that was quick. Indeed, I'm Elaine of the Twin Adder. I understand you're here to learn of the Sylphs, yes? For all their whimsy, they are a wary lot, particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. In their trust, however, and they're as friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all, no? Would you know more? You do well to speak with the master of this hut, Ralph. He's forgotten more about the Sylphs than I'll ever know.
Come to hear a thing or two about sylphs, have ya? Well, I'll tell you one thing. They're a particular folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. They're... Beg pardon, friend. My memory's just not what it used to be. I've seen much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all clutter in my noggin now. Though I've shared my stories with those around the hut before, you might have more luck with them. All right, it's that time of the night, everybody. Time for me to end my stream. I hope you all have a very good night, sweet dreams, and warm surroundings.